Welcome back to our story of how we adopted our beautiful Scottish Fold kitten. So here's my husband bringing this new beautiful soul into her new home for the very first time. But before we go any further, here's a quick recap. In our last episode, we showed you how we made a decision to adopt a kitten and our process of choosing the right breed, as we were deciding between the Siberian cat, the Bengal, and the Scottish Fold. We also did a lot of research on finding the right breeder, as finding a quality kitten was very important to us. And lastly, after we found the right breeder, we also had to make the very hard decision on the right kitten that would be best for our family. To find out how we made this decision and how we made a decision to adopt a kitten in the first place, please check out our link below of the video that we made. And now let's fast forward to where we left off as we were coming home.
Welcome, new baby in the family.
Welcome.
Another girl.
Another girl.
Fourth girl.
That's because we have 3 girls and we always joke about having one more. I could definitely tell that she was scared on the ride coming home. She huddled in a corner and I could hear her meow a few times. For the most part, she was quiet, and I was trying to hold that bag very, very still. I didn't want to scare her more than she already was.
She's about to meet her new mommy.
So my husband and I strategized on the best way to introduce the kitten into the family. And we thought that it would be best to have as few people in the room. We were worried that the kitten wouldn't take to our family well, as the breeder, Valeria, told us that it could take up to 7 days for the kitten to acclimate to the new environment and family. Sometimes the kitten doesn't eat, they might hide under their beds and closets, and we were very anxious to see how she would react with our new home, and of course with her new owner. My mother-in-law has had many cats before and has even taken care of newborn kittens. She has a big heart and loves to give, so we are confident that she will be the best owner for this little kitten. We didn't have any proper toys, so we kind of just made something up. But for kittens, it doesn't really matter. About 10 minutes in, she definitely seemed to be more relaxed, and she was watching us. She is definitely a curious soul. She was very interested in her new home. Oh, here she comes, here she comes. My heart skipped a beat when she took her first step out of that bag. But still, she wasn't quite ready. After about a half hour, my mother-in-law tried to pick her up and to see how she would do. We didn't know if it would be a good idea to pick up the kitten right away, but I think that initial hug warmed her up. She looked a little bit nervous, but still she was okay. She wasn't meowing a lot or shaking. You can really see that she is just absorbing everything and just taking it all in. So I totally thought at this moment that she was going to run back into her bag. But instead, she surprised us all and walked over to my husband. It was really funny to watch her because every time she would go back inside the bag, she always seemed to leave one foot out. At this point, she wasn't really going back inside the bag. She always stayed near it because I think it gave her some comfort knowing it was there. However, she wasn't going inside, and she was even starting to interact with the toys that we had there. This was pretty much the only time we heard her meow a lot. Wow, when she meows, it just pulls at every heartstring. Since buying a cat was quite spontaneous for us, we didn't quite have everything we needed, such as a litter box. We had already ordered it, but it hadn't arrived yet, so we had to make do with whatever we had in the house. The reason why we are bringing the kitten to the litter box is that my husband read somewhere on the internet that it's important to bring a kitten to a litter box soon after they come into their new home. We brought her to different parts of the house so she would get a better idea of where everything is. Here she is, getting a little braver every minute. So unfortunately at that time, my mother-in-law had some other arrangements that she had to attend to. So she left the kitten there with my husband, and surprisingly, she did amazing. She was playing non-stop for about 2 hours. We really got a sense of her playful nature at this point. I guess bringing her into different rooms worked because she knew where her litter box was already. She was even distracted when she was playing with my husband because she wanted to go back. There she is right now, going back to her litter box. It was a good 2 hours that she was with my husband, and after playing non-stop, she was getting pretty tired. It was quite a long day for her, and she just fell asleep right there underneath their bed. How cute is that? Unfortunately, we don't have the video to show it, but my mother-in-law told us how the rest of the day went. Apparently, she was under the bed when my mother-in-law came in, and my mother-in-law called out to her, and we were all surprised to hear how she came out to my mother-in-law right away, and after that, they had an instant bond. The next day, we came early in the morning, and we were shocked to see how she fell asleep right next to my mother-in-law. Just so precious. We didn't know how it was going to go at night. She started to eat more but hadn't drank any water yet. This is a video my mother-in-law took of how the night went. I was shocked when I saw it. To the kitten, my in-laws were not strangers anymore, who she needed to hide from, but instead, they were family that she wanted to feel comforted by at night. She chose her spot, right in between both of them. And like all babies do, they wake up in the middle of the night and want to play. That's what happened to this little girl. She wanted to play. My mother-in-law told us that she never made an accident, not even once, and always uses her litter box. If only my 2-year-old would do the same thing as I'm potty training her now.
Please come use the toilet. Come use the toilet.
It's amazing how she chooses her place to sleep next to her. She watches everything my mother-in-law does and goes on her schedule, even at bedtime. Sometimes she stays between the cushions and waits until she showers. And she wakes up at the same time, and she even sits next to her if she's not awake and waits for her to wake up. It is truly amazing how quickly she has adapted to her new life. We were worried how she would respond as we were taking her away from everything she knew, such as her mom and her siblings. In addition to feeling guilty about taking her away from her family, I also felt really, really nervous about introducing our new family, and specifically our kids, to the kitten. This is because I have a friend who also has small kids and who owns a cat. She warned me not to overwhelm the kitten in the beginning, especially with kids around, as she is convinced that her cat is traumatized from her small kids. Let's just say that I have barely seen her cat because that poor thing is always hiding in the closet. So I'd say the first part of meeting her new mommy, my mother-in-law, went better than I could have ever imagined. In our next episode, we will show how she does with eating and drinking, what toys she plays with most, and most of all, how she reacts to our kids and family. Please stay tuned and subscribe to see the next episode. Can't wait to see you next.